You're listening to Big World Network.
Augmentia. Written and read by Montgomery Thompson.
Deep within a dense framework of technological innovation, billions of years in the making, the will of the structure issued its command. Dominus Rao, activation, 10:053:789 hours. Suspect, Pia. Race, Eos Bioway. Origin, Amethiar. Current location, Palace Emeth. Suspend for unauthorized subatomic encryption for the purposes of personal conveyance. The blackness came to life. The construct, perfected for the sole purpose of destruction, stood motionless in front of the bay doors containing Dominus Rao's squad. Inside, the 3 Abes under his command activated in their storage. While he waited, he reviewed the information. The accused was an Eos Bioway. Long ago, some of the Abes chose to embrace the benefits of biological technology. They developed it until it began to surpass their race's original capabilities. The result was the Bioway. The Abes who did not enhance with biotech called themselves Puritans and declared war on the Bioway heretics. The war went on for thousands of years and spanned the galaxy. The Bioway fled, dividing into small groups and hiding in remote sectors. Each group took on a different name. The accused was Eos. The structure, the Abe hierarchy and network consciousness, knew about the Eos on Amethiar and their science base on the moon on Palace Emeth. The structure's standing order was to leave them alone, so that those Eos may lead it to bigger prey, but so far, they had no known contact with any other Bioway. Over the years of war, the Abes had also managed to create some of their own Bio-EI individuals to infiltrate the ranks of the Bioway, particularly the Eos. It was an Abe-created Bioway operative that had discovered that the accused was planning to utilize tachyon conveyance to an unknown destination. Dominus had his orders. He and his team were to apprehend Pia, the Eos Bioway, and stop the tachyon conveyance. It was a covert mission, so anyone encountered would have to be eliminated. The bay doors opened, and his team presented themselves for inspection. The first was Vexa. She stood over 9.5 feet tall, and her projectile harvesting accelerator could fire thousands of rounds per second at velocities over 90,000 feet per second. Next was Saget, a sniper whose gravity rail cannon threw fist-sized projectiles at targets as small as a grain of sand from over 400,000 miles away. Last was Alaz, the 13-foot-tall red and yellow giant. His entire right arm was a weapon that forced the atomic structure of any material, including the air itself, into violent, frenetic motion. The result was instant heat at any intensity and direction he chose. In his left hand, he held an enormous shield. It was large enough for the whole team to hide behind if necessary, and was particularly useful whenever his fires were uncomfortably close. For Dominus's team, there was only the will of the structure and compliance. The joiner pack is already transmitting. Dominus briefed his team via the link they were all created with. He received the blip of their compliance instantly and opened the door. The vacuum of space posed no concern as the gravity rail hurled them out of the hatch towards the small, glowing triangle of the tachyon conveyor. It quickly grew in size as they approached and maneuvered into position at the opening. Due to the laws of physics and the nature of tachyon conveyance, they would arrive before they left. Adding the time it would take to assemble at the destination, the total time of the journey would be instantaneous. Destructive transfer, the structure commanded Dominus. Mission failure will result in deletion. This is the will of the structure. He complied, and the conveyor began disassembling their atoms as it scanned them into the stream. In a shimmering flash, they were gone. Giorgio wasn't very good looking for an Eos Bioway. Pia always thought that someone should have taken more care in his creation. He was short, for one, and his internal network was fluid-based, which made him smart, but slow and kind of noisy. Sometimes Pia could swear she heard him sloshing when they walked anywhere. None of that mattered to her, though. Giorgio was as fine a friend as anyone could wish for, and right now, she needed a friend more than anything.
You're cutting it way too close, Pia.
Giorgio glanced around him as they walked.
They'll know the minute you start coding. They probably know already.
The white and blue halls of the research station stretched out spider-like across the barren surface of Pallas Emeth. Outside, a thin layer of green algae covered every inch of the moon's dusty surface. It will take an age for the atmosphere to form at this rate, Pia thought. No matter. Soon I won't be here. Just keep calm. I know what I'm doing. Once I code in, they won't be able to stop me.
But what if they find out where you're going?
They won't if you do what I ask.
But I can't recode the package that fast. They'll see the break in the stream.
Pia stopped and turned to him. Listen, one more time. Tell them the break in the stream is caused by a coding error. Just tell them you're a court low, she giggled.
The Air Transport Authority is not going to buy that, Pia.
Act like it's no big deal. You're sending a decommissioned unit for study. Besides, you're transferring it to the research station on Antipo by request. Dagra already sent it in for me.
Here's another problem with the plan. I don't trust him, Pia. Just because
we used to be unified doesn't mean he has any badness for me. Pia took Giorgio's hand. It's okay, my friend. They'll never even know I'm gone. Remember our pledge? Giorgio sighed.
Yeah, I know. Chasing down the legend of the Gans is one thing, but you're willing to get deleted in the pursuit of a myth, Pia. There's no evidence that supports their existence.
Not this again, Giorgio. You saw the note. It's still in your system just like it's in mine. We can't ignore it.
Yes, I know, but I've been reviewing it, Pia. It's just some old ATEC resistance message.
His name is Neliason Brand, and he is real.
Was real.
Giorgio, scientists don't jump to conclusions. We don't know how old that message is.
It's ATEC. That's from the Galactic War tens of thousands of years ago. They don't exist anymore.
He chased after her as she continued at a quick pace through the facility.
Even assuming that the message is real and this Neliason Brand is still functioning, why would you want to meet him? What do we have in common with the ancient ATECs?
A common enemy. We're both fugitives of the Abe's cruelty. You can't be judgmental about the ATEC. They enhance themselves just like we do. They enhance their biology with tech. We enhance our tech with biology. Or did you forget where your digestive tract comes from?
Yes, Pia, but all this is past tense. The ATEC are extinct. We weren't created by the Abes, a failed experiment.
Now that is conjecture.
No, Pia, it's historical fact. The Gans aren't real and the ATEC are extinct. Everyone knows that.
How do you know? Have you talked to some Abes lately who confirmed the myth about the ATEC? Either way, it doesn't matter. Earth is there, the Gans are there, and I've got to warn them.
That is all conjecture and speculation. You're a scientist. Follow the facts.
No, Giorgio. I know it's true. I feel it's true. Don't you want to meet your creator?
You mean you'd want it to be true? I was built by my parents just like you were.
I'm doing this with or without you. Pia folded her arms and glared at him. Finally, Giorgio threw his arms up.
Okay, if you insist. But when we're done, you owe me a zip shot.
Pia became very somber. I'm not going to be here to do that.
What? You can't be serious. A destructive conveyance? You can't... What if something goes wrong?
Lower your voice, Giorgio. Nothing is going to go wrong. Besides, dupe conveyance is completely illegal. Giorgio dropped his voice to a hissing whisper.
Oh, and sneaking yourself through the conveyor as a dead body isn't? Think about this, Pia. Those coordinates are for a planet that is very, very far away. Anything could happen. If any stray asteroid or pieces of junk cross your path for too long, that's the end of you.
Stop this madness before you bring... He quickly clamped his mouth shut, his eyes darting. Bring what, Giorgio? What are you talking about? Nothing is going to happen. Besides, it's a risk I'm willing to take. If I just transfer a copy of myself, then there's a chance that they could still arrest the original me right here. Besides, I don't want my copy having all the fun.
You know that a copy has its own consciousness.
Yes, but if I do a destructive conveyance, that consciousness will be mine. If I stay, I'm still here. How will I know that my copy will carry out my agenda?
Wow, that brings a whole new level to the term control freak.
Destructive conveyance is the best way, the only way. Besides, it makes your alibi more solid. Why would you keep an original body and send a copy to the research station on Andipo?
There is nothing about this idea that's solid, Giorgio said, wringing his hands. I can't believe you're actually going to go through with it.
Just meet me at the transfer station at the 10th cycle. Not a turn more. Giorgio fidgeted with his notes, pleading to her with his eyes. I need you, Giorgio. Just this one more time, then I won't bother you any more. Giorgio watched her as she walked away, his fluids gurgling. She should have been his.
Augmentia. Written and read by Montgomery Thompson.
You're listening to Big World Network.